made possible by the kindness of friends and strangers. I think we have many, well in fact there are many people in this room who I adore. Like you, Rich! and it's a ritual of some kind, and it's deliberately designed to be far too much information. So kind of let it wash over you, and don't worry about missing details because it really doesn't matter at all. The other thing I wanted to say actually is that Mr. Banana, who played just before, we stole tons and tons and tons of his imagery without his permission, including these things here, which we copied from Mr. Banana, and there's tons of Mr. Banana's imagery. I'm here really as the front man of a rather complex operation, and I'm promising to pay everybody later in the year for some radio money, and they believe me.
The night you die.
And I'm really, I mean, for all of you people to come along tonight, we've had a bit of an epic adventure. I just hit myself on the We've had a wonderful adventure, and to end it with all you lovely people here is like manna from heaven. So even if you hate it, just pretend that you like it out of kindness. And if we manage to finish this show without tripping up the steps in the big bloody heads that we're wearing soon, then I'll be pleasantly surprised. We're going to play Gargantua, our medieval mystery play. It's also a board game, and you'll see how it's a board game. I don't need to explain it, it's boring to explain. And nothing else. Bye. Bye.
Mr. Saturday dance, heard they crowd at the floor, couldn't bear it without you, don't get around much anymore, but I visit the club, got as far as the door, they'd have asked me about you, don't get around much
The Abbey of Thelema, a utopia created by the giant king Gargantua, who no doubt he'll be meeting soon. In all their rule and strictest high of their order, there was but this one clause to be observed: do what thou wilt. Here enter not vile bigots, hypocrites, externally devoted apes, base knights, puffed up wry-necked beasts, cursed snakes, dissembled varlets, seeming saints, slipshod caffards, beggars pretending once, fat chuff-cats, smell-feast knockers, doltish gulls, out-strouting cluster fists, contentious bulls. Tonight's entertainment is a vaudeville for utopias. Recently unearthed documents have revealed startling evidence to suggest that Rabelais' dreams of the Thelemite utopia did not stop in the realm of fiction. These documents, discovered in the vaults of the Centre de la Ville Charité in Marseille, suggest that, in his later years, Rabelais began to pursue dreams of architecture. Tonight's entertainment is also a vaudeville for architecture, dreams, and architecture dreams. In question is a series of architectural plans headed the Abbey of Thelema. This is the story of how Rabelais' plans for a real Abbey of Thelema, a seat of intellectual freedom in a world of control, were thwarted. Here enter not base, pinching usurers, pelf lickers, everlasting gatherers, gold graspers, coin gripers, gulpers of mists, niggish deformed sots who, through your chests, vast sums of money should to you afford, would nevertheless add more unto that hoard. And yet not be content, you clench-fist dastards, insatiable fiends and Pluto's bastards, greedy devourers, chitchy sneak-billed rogues, hell mastiffs, gnaw your bones, you ravenous dogs. It so happened that one day during his stay in Montpellier as a medicine teacher, Rabelais was accosted into a public reading of his by now famous work, Gargantua.
Good morning, Your Royal Highness, leader of our great nation. I have been put in charge of Majesty's education. Oh, Socrates, oh man, please will you stop with this talk of learning? This codswallop up and feed me up instead with a bowl of slop. To eat is very well, but without your education, how will you learn to be the great king of this great nation? Give me dinner, but my belly is as empty as your silly skull. For dinner is exciting and to learn is very, very dull. Be the great and mighty nation, movements of the constellations, Latin, German, English, Spanish, how the Buddha makes you vanish. Sciences and mathematics, Platonics, of course, Socratic, Swift, Nabokov, Rabelais, you should be reading every day all the history of art. Hang on there, I need a fart. Learning majesty is this, I fear that something is amiss. I have developed hero charm, a lovely way to wind my bum. Sit down and listen close, you see the action of between my cheeks. I rub myself with hay and straw, a gentlewoman's velvet mask, and after that with sage and general blood. I wipe myself with lover's gloves, but golden spangles they had in them. Surely they scratched away a portion of my tail skin. I wipe myself with straw, with flax, a carpet and a table cloth, a Bible and a handkerchief, a marsh cat and an atlas moth. And after all these myriad wipes, the skin around my bum forlorn, I found
Monsieur Rabelais could down them with the best of them. Rabelais woke up later that evening with the sort of hangover that makes one feel your eyes and tongue are being ripped from your soul by the taut bum eye of Satan. He stood slowly from his bed of hard floor. How did he end up there? He had no idea. His head span, his stomach gurgled like ejections from a thick volcanic pool. He had to get home. Around him people snoozed, sprawled across any surface, red or white with drink, in contortions of ugly sleep. Rabelais picked up his printed copy of his book, and from it fell a sheet of parchment. Ah, he thought, my plans for Thelema, mustn't forget those. Only the paper looked the wrong colour. Was it his eyes? How much had he drowned? He opened the paper up. This was not his plans for Thelema. They had disappeared whilst he slept. In their place, there was a strange, cryptic text.
spreading the news. Nation with the blues. Where is our stupid king? With the swan-shaped wing. Now spreading the news. Nation with the blues. Where is our giant king? With a swan-shaped wing.
Too many tears. It's time to go to bed. I'll lay you awake and shed too many tears. Your memory is bringing me too many tears. Too many years. I wasted loving you, and as you die was true. Too many years. I get along, what have I got? Too many tears. I know I should have found a new love, and don't you think I didn't try? But I found out another to love never seems to satisfy. I never learned to smile again or sing. I gave you everything, and in return, why did you leave for souvenirs? Too many tears.
Examined the strange text. It read, "Whose was it? His with the Beowulf. Who shall have it? The keeper of the sheep. Why shall we keep it? For the preservation and the power. Where will he take it? 5 fathoms deep. How long shall it remain? Forever and ever. Why shall it be so? For the good of the sheep."
King Gargantua disappeared on the 24th December. I presume, my dear Lugo, you were too drunk to remember.
My dear backgammon, it's apparent that you know me all too well. Nevertheless, I am a professional detective, and might I suggest you take your massive head and bugger off to hell?
Come, this is no time to be squabbling like husbands and wives. This is undoubtedly the most important case we've ever chanced upon in either of our checkered, wasted lives.
In that case, sit down comfortably. Perhaps prepare a pipe, my dearie, and we should try to collect our thoughts. Think clearly. Attempt to come up with some kind of rational and deductive theory.
Do you have any immediate thought?
Of course. I have some inklings, though only conjecture.
Keep it brief. I'm not in the mood for a lecture.
When our great giant baby King Gargantua made merry with the drinkers, he did release a couple of immense farts from his bum gut, and I assure you by my troth that they were stinkers. 'Twas at this moment the drinkers, repulsed by his fetid stench, soon dissipated, and King Gargantua, in a cloud of methane, rapidly evaporated.
I must apologise for my abrupt interruption, but this is purely conjecture without an ism of deduction. It doth make me want to rip the strings from my heart when you suggest the great king could be destroyed by so inconsequential a thing as his own fart.
I have told you of my theory, and theory it is. If not true to every letter, I suppose you think, dear backgammon, that you can do better?
Not only better, but less reprehensible, and as you'll see, infinitely more sensible.
Proceed, my ears awaken.
I propose King Gargantua has been taken, kidnapped, a mere baby from his cradle.
But who would have reason to do such a thing, and who would be able to steal so vast a babe from his infant bed?
That is one question I cannot make clear in my head, but to aid and abet us, I thought we might fill up one of our respective opium pipes and see where dreams will lead us in this case.
Sometimes, in opium dreams we find the place that waking life refuses to reveal.
Let's smoke, awake, then eat a hearty meal. Perhaps by then our massive heads will be clearer, and to the solution of our mission we will have grown.
Sleeping off further the decadence of the earlier day, Rabelais had a dream. Afterwards, he felt the dream was telling him something, but he could not fathom what.
One of the things that I find most interesting about the film is, again, your use of architecture and how all the buildings seem to be connected, except, I guess, for Kay's apartment. He seems to go through hallways and get to the different rooms, even though the architecture is quite different. I'm wondering if you can comment more on this.
It's part of the... I say in the picture that it's a dream. But I made a picture like a dream. I attempted to make a picture which is like some of the dreams I have had. I think it's pompous and silly to say what a dream is like, because we're all dreamers and we all dream different ways. And I move from one kind of architecture to another in my dreams without any difficulty whatsoever. And it's a little harder to do with a camera and make you believe you're in the same movie. But that comes from years of hanky-panky and sidearm snookery.
The appearance, instantaneously disclosed, was of a mighty city, boldly say a wilderness of buildings sinking far, and self-withdrawn into a wondrous depth. Sinking into splendor without end, fabric it seemed of diamond and of gold, with alabaster domes and silver spires and blazing
terrace uplifted, here serene pavilions bright, in avenues disposed, their towers begirt with battlements, that on their restless fronts bore stars, illuminations of all gems.
not a pleasure. Nothing is not a pleasure if one is irritated, but suddenly it is a pleasure. And then more and more it is not irritated. And then more and more, and slowly. Originally we were nowhere. And now again, we are having the pleasure of being slowly nowhere. If anybody is sleepy, let him go to sleep. If anybody is sleepy, let him go to sleep.
Rabelais awoke and took the scroll to his learned friend Panurge, who suggested the culprit could be Monsieur Dandelot, a shepherd on the outskirts of Montpellier with ambitions of architecture. Dandelot, a dreamer himself, or what you might term an early animal rights activist, had imagined reinventing the keeping of livestock into vast interior complexes, and was embarking from Marseille that week with the aim of discovering land on which he could fulfill his dreams. Rabelais was convinced. This is the madman who has stolen away his architectural dream for the growth of human freedom. And for what? For sheep. This wouldn't do. And so it was Rabelais and Panurge travelled to Marseille. The weather was uncharacteristically bad, an incessant storm. They soon discovered the boat of Dandelot. It wasn't difficult. How many other boats were loaded to the brim with sheep? With need of shelter in the night, they climbed onto the docked boat and hid beneath the deck. Their dreams were full of sheep. They awoke at sea. They climbed up onto the deck into glorious sunshine. Surprised, to say the least, to see them, Monsieur Dandelot mouthed every curse he could think of onto his stowaways. Shitard, squirtard, crackard, turdus, my bum hath flung some dung on ye. Dandelot about the missing plans for the Abbey of Thelema. Dandelot pleaded his innocence. Rabelais took a back seat as his head was pounding from the rum they found below deck that had so aided their sleep. On a sudden, you would wonder how the thing was so soon done. For my part, I cannot tell you, for I had not leisure to mind it. Our friend Panurge, without any further tittle ran overboard into the middle of the sea, bleating and making a sad noise. Upon this, all the other sheep in the ship, crying and bleating in the same tone, made all the haste they could to leap nimbly into the sea, one after another, and great was the throng who should leap in first after their leader. It was impossible to hinder them, for you know that it is in the nature of sheep always to follow the first wheresoever it goes. Dundonald, at his wits' end and stark staring, mad as a man who saw his sheep destroy and drown themselves before his face, strove to hinder and keep them back with might and main, but all in vain. They all, one after the other, frisked and jumped into the sea, then Dundonald wild after them, leaving our heroes in the middle of the ocean, one big ship, no sheep. Across the Ligurian Sea and into Genova. Upon arrival at the port of Genova, a surprise was in store. Rabelais and Verneuil were immediately arrested upon a charge of heresy.
I've fallen in love with you, I've taken it badly. Sweeping, burning, tossing, turning, never know when to laugh or cry. Any little fish can swim, any little bird can fly. Any little dog or any little cat can do a bit of this, just a bit of that. Any little horse can neigh, and any little cow can moo. But I can't do anything at all but just love you.
How the authorities had known of their arrival, we have no record. Possibly Dundonald swam with sheep or sheepless to the coast, but this, to Rabelais and Panurge, must have seemed unlikely, and why would the tossing of sheep into the sea be a heresy? They were taken on a long journey, and thrown into a dark, damp cell, with nothing to wet their palates. For days and nights they sat, confined, trapped in a mystery of imprisonment that would make Kafka blush. Initially, they entertained themselves with wordplay and games with history, but this pleasure can't last forever. Then, our heroes fell into silence for days.
Well, here's a bloody sticky set of circumstances.
In our search for the Giant King, we have made no advances.
In fact, it could easily be considered a tremendous fail.
To find ourselves stuck within the belly of a whale.
My lord, come out wherever you are. Stowaways. Which one of you is God?
Not me, you daft sod.
Nor I.
Looky here, Pinocchio. How do you feel? These two gentlemen would make us both a lovely meal. Lie to me, Pinocchio. Let's make...
real boy!
Oh, come on. More! This is mere kindling.
I'm a real boy!
Oh, I'm resting. To make a fire, one needs a boy or a puppet of wood whose nose will grow when he tells lies from these supplies. And he's thoughtful and permanent, there is no waste, 'cause from his face a perpetual supply of wood will grow. When you wish upon a star, makes no difference. When you wish upon a star, What's your name? To make a fire one needs a boy or a puppet of wood whose nose will grow when he tells lies. From these supplies, inexhaustible and permanent, there's no waste. It's from his face, a perpetual supply will grow.
I'm becoming quite concerned that here inside this hefty feast, to drown would worry me the least, or rather I would soon be burned, because it seems we're stuck inside. You captives here have no escape from this immense aquatic shape. I wonder if you've ever tried to exit from this belly here, to climb out of its gaping jaw, to wash up on an island shore, or are you trapped by your own fear?
You speak of fear, but know you not that one day God, the mighty one, will see where all my prayers have gone, and I'll be out of here like a shot.
Each day he crouches on his knee and butters prayers because he thinks, and this is maybe why he drinks, a man upstairs will make him free.
Oh, here inside this carcass thing, just wait for God to make a wish for a constant supply of fish, cod, haddock, lobster, krill, and cray.
Jonah, sir, you are mistaken, waiting round for help divine. You really are a silly swine, and sometimes action must be taken. Ludo, let us leave this place. I'm not sure how, but there's a way to exit from this beast today and leave this man to his disgrace.
I've heard it said that without fail, a modicum of snuff will make the whale sneeze. His belly shake, then two dry land will surely sail.
We better hold on tight, Pinocchio!
Have a good arms!
Day of their imprisonment, in a flash, it occurred to Rabelais. Dondonor the shepherd was not the keeper of the sheep referred to in that strange text that replaced his architectural plans as he lay in a drunken stupor. Who then is the keeper of the sheep? It is not Christ, because he no longer lives on earth if he lives at all, or if he does, he's keeping it very quiet. Then surely the keeper of the sheep is God's representative on earth, the Pope. This means war.
Not spreading the news, nation with the blues. Where is our giant king with the swan teeth wing? We've been here before. The world is at war. We don't know who we're fighting. It's very exciting.
Splendid trick executed by Panurge to the prison guard involving a toothpick, a coin, and a pair of trousers which, for the sake of propriety, we won't go into here. Rabelais and Panurge escaped the prison and, with battle on their minds, wended their way through the shadows of Rome towards the criminal palace and the seat of the Pope.
on an open fire. Tiny tots roasting, tiny tots roasting. Chestnuts roasting on Eskimo. Jack Frost nipping Eskimo. Tiny tots roasting, tiny tots with their eyes roasting tonight. And so you find it hard to sleep. And so you find it hard to sleep tonight. And so you find it hard to sleep tonight.
Oh, sisters true, how may we do for to preserve this day, this poor youngling for whom we do sing. Bye bye,
Arriving towards midnight, Panurge and Rabelais slunk past the palace entrance, through the many corridors, and eventually into the residence of the Pope, who sat, his back to them, reading, convulsed with tears of laughter. From the angle he was sitting, they could just make out what was amusing the Pope so intensely. It was Gargantua and Pantagruel by Francois Rabelais, and before him, on the gilded table, Rabelais' plans for the Abbey of Thelema.
Small fry sprouting by the pool room. Small fry should be in the schoolroom. My, put down that cigarette there, boy. You ain't a grown-up high and mighty yet. Hey, you, small fry, you're dancing for a penny. Small fry, you're counting up how many. My, just you listen here to me, boy. You ain't the biggest catfish in the sea. You practice pecking all day long to some old radio song. Oh yes, yes, yes.
Our heroes jumped upon the Pope, who cried out, alerting his guards, who ran in like sheep to water, just in time to see the Pope bent over the table in the process of being thoroughly paddled by Panurge on his red, undulating buttocks with the copy of Monsieur Rabelais' book.
To turn the fire on the sea, it's full of shriek. Something to get higher on.
tear all your seams apart. The sea's full of sheep. Drink and dream and smoke and fast. The sea's full of sheep.
assure you my bloody head's pounding.
I fled the wrath of drama, my intelligence confounding.
I find myself no closer to a practical solution.
There is, in a practical sense, little benefit to this bodily pollution.
It's imperative now, methinks, to perform the necessary ablutions. In my reveries intense, it seems there's every chance I may have spilled some bumgut filth into the seat of my pants.
In my state, do you think it's helpful, you massive-headed, overgrown elf, to tell me that when you were dreaming in an opiated haze, you bloody shit yourself?
We've known each other long enough. The years do take their toll. Why are you so taken aback by reports from the action of my bunghole?
Regardless of the length of our companionship, I still do not care for the actions of your licorice bullet hole. Go change your soiled underwear.
Francois Rabelais woke up with the sort of hangover that makes one feel like your eyes and tongue are being ripped from your soul by the taut bum eye of Satan. He stood slowly from his bed of hard floor. How did he end up there? He had no idea. His head span, his stomach gurgled like ejections from a thick volcanic pool. He had to get home. Around him, people snoozed, sprawled across any surface, red or white with drink, in contortions of ugly sleep.